Alrighty, Unit 3, the Age of Enlightenment, the Scientific Revolution. Diving in right here, you can see in front of you these standards that we're going to be covering on this unit. I'm not going to read these through for you. If you want to see them, you can see them right here. Otherwise, they're posted on the wall in my classroom. A couple different objectives right here as well that we're going to be able to understand and analyze. So make sure that you understand these objectives. Come back, look at the objectives periodically throughout the unit to make sure you understand what's going on and that this is moving forward and that you are all on the same page as we go through here. One thing I do want to dive into right away is a couple of the different vocab words you're going to need to understand if you want to understand what we are talking about right now. You need to understand what a paradigm is, okay? A paradigm is simply a pattern or a model. The way things are set up, the way things are going. You want to make sure you know those words. Salon. Okay, a salon is not like what you think of as a salon today when you go and get your hair done, get your whatever, okay, your nails painted, all stuff like that. A salon at this time is simply a place in France where philosophers are going to go, they're going to meet and they're going to discuss ideas. So they'll have some coffee and they'll sit down and they'll just start talking about different things. What do you think about this? Where do humans come from? Are humans naturally good or are humans bad? Prove it. Let's talk about this for a while. A philosopher is simply a scholar or a thinker. This is someone who thinks about different things. Why are things the way things are? Reason. You want to know what reason is. Reason is simply using logical thinking, not superstition, okay? I think it's because this thing is going to influence, or I shouldn't walk under a ladder because it's bad luck. No, maybe you shouldn't walk under a ladder because it might fall on top of you. Using logic versus superstition, and finally empiricism, which is a belief that knowledge comes from a sensory experience. You don't gain knowledge from reading a book, you gain knowledge from actually doing something. How do you feel about something? These all go together, make sure you know that, okay? Now, first thing to understand is the scientific revolution. Scientific revolution goes from about 1500 through the 1700s. It's a series of time where there is a lot of different things going on at this time within science. Now, it's important to understand with the scientific revolution that they had a different kind of interpretation of the word science than we have today. Okay, when we think of science, we think of like procedures, hypothesis, doing this, testing stuff. At this time period is more of kind of just a way of looking at the world, almost more of a philosophy kind of thing and how things work. So they have a different meaning of science than we have today. It's also important to realize is, did the scientific revolution actually happen? Okay, it's a time period we're talking about, but in order for something to be a revolution, you have to kind of understand that there is a change taking place. They didn't really know that there was a change taking place at this time period. They just had this paradigm shift, which you can see right here in Thomas Kuhn. Okay, he wrote a book and talked about the paradigm shift, and his book was called The Structure of Scientific Revolutions. Basically, why did the scientific revolution happen? How do things change throughout history? Okay, so we look at things are starting off with this normal science. It is the way it is. People accept it for this. They're going to observe abnormalities. Something is different. Something's not the way we've always thought it was. This is a problem. This is a crisis. We have to figure this out. And then it's going to shift to a new normal science. And this is exactly what is happening at this time period. And this is a continuing pattern. I'll draw this out on the board so you can understand kind of what's happening. But this consistently happens throughout this time period. It's a paradigm shift. Did this really happen? Now, to explain the paradigm, I'm going to have you look right here and tell me, what do you see? Okay, you see this duck on the screen right here. It's got the eye, it's got the beak, it's the duck looking off to the left. Now, this is a paradigm, okay? It's set up this way. This is the module for what we see. This is the way it is, the way it's always been. And now suddenly we change this right here and that duck becomes a rabbit. Okay, the exact same image. We got the eye, we got the nose looking down. Okay, the rabbit would be looking to the right instead of the duck looking to the left. The duck's beaks have now become the duck ears. Okay, so it's way something's going to change that paradigm. What you think you always had, there is now a crisis. You've got to explain that. That is a paradigm shift that explained by Kuhn. Okay. When it comes to the scientific revolution, there's a number of scientists we are going to talk about, a number of individuals and thinkers. Copernicus, okay, is important. Archimedes is also kind of important. He was actually the first guy, but Copernicus is the one who's famous for what Copernicus is going to do. Kepler, Galileo, Newton, and Bacon. We will talk about all these men later in the upcoming slides. For now, I'll just give you a bit of an introduction. If you have any questions, comment down below. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day.